Hi, my loves. Welcome back to Lavendaire. Let's talk about mental health and what the top habits are for supporting your mental health. Here on this channel, we talk about how to tap into your true self and create your dream life. But all of that isn't possible without a solid foundation for your mental and emotional well-being. It's crucial to take care of yourself and develop habits that will help you thrive. So today we'll explore those very habits. The first step is always awareness, then comes intention, and then change. So without further ado, here are the top 10 habits for your mental health. All right, so the most important habit for your mental health is practicing being present. Being present is a skill. It's knowing how to live in the now, being here in this current moment. Too often, our minds like to time travel. We like to think about the past, think about the future, whether you are just thinking about regrets or worrying about the things that you've done, the mistakes you've made, or maybe you are too focused in the future, whether you are anxious or stressed out about the future, or just, focusing on something that is not happening right now, right in front of you. So the present moment really is your place of power. It's your place where you can create your life from. Nothing is possible if it's not happening in the present moment. Like, you use your present moment to make things happen. By practicing being more present and being more mindful of the current moment, you are training your brain to focus on what matters, to focus on where you have your power, instead of being distracted by the wanderings of your mind, going into the past, going to the future. Those are really just distractions. You don't have power in the past or the future. You have your power now. And so if you can live in the present moment more and more, then that is such an important habit for your mental health. The next very important habit for your mental health is to allow yourself to feel your emotions. It's okay to feel. I know that sounds very simple because a lot of people are good at feeling their emotions, but there are also a lot of people who are not in touch with their emotions. And a lot of us do suppress how we feel sometimes. We keep it in, or maybe you want to cry, but you hold it back and you push it down. And that suppression of your emotions is not healthy mentally, emotionally, physically. Like, it affects your body in some way. When you feel an emotion, don't judge it. Just look at it, be aware of it, allow yourself to feel it and express it. Learn to be able to hold a safe space for yourself to feel these emotions, because not dealing with them is gonna make it a bigger issue later on. So just allow yourself to feel it as it comes. Another habit that is super important for your mental health is to have an outlet to express yourself. So if you know me, you know I love journaling. I've been journaling all my life. That is kind of how I express my feelings and kind of work out my thoughts and get to know what my inner voice is saying. Other examples of outlets may be creating art, or talking to people that you trust in your life, or even trying therapy. There are a lot of ways that you can express yourself, but the goal of expressing yourself is to let it out and start to try to understand your thoughts and your feelings so that you can have a greater sense of self-awareness. On the topic of therapy, I'd like to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. So BetterHelp is professional counseling done securely online. Once you sign up, BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. The service is available for clients worldwide, and you can log in anytime to message your counselor. With BetterHelp, I like that you get to schedule weekly video or phone sessions on your own time. You don't have to deal with commuting or waiting in waiting rooms like with traditional therapy. BetterHelp also makes it easy and free to change counselors if you don't like yours, and you can cancel anytime if you don't like it. I personally have switched therapists twice because it took me some time to find someone that I could vibe with, someone that understood me, and someone that I kind of liked their approach to therapy, because I guess every therapist has a different approach, so don't feel like you have to stick with the first one you get. Feel free to shop around. BetterHelp is more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is also available. So BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. So if you're interested, you can try BetterHelp at betterhelp.com/Aileen and join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. So that's betterhelp.com/Aileen to get 10% off your first month. Number 4 on this list is setting boundaries. It is so important for your own mental health and well-being to set good boundaries. Boundaries is essentially the line where you decide what's okay versus what's not okay, what you will tolerate versus what you will not tolerate. So setting boundaries is learning to say no and being firm on that no, not being too much of a pushover, not letting people step all over you, take advantage of you, because people are going to do that whether or not their intentions are good or bad. Like, it's going to happen if you don't set certain boundaries. So decide what your boundaries are, what you're okay with, what you're not okay with, and stand firm with those boundaries. This is coming from a recovering people pleaser, okay? I used to say yes to everyone and just deplete my energy in order to please other people. But that's not a healthy way to live. And at the same time, I know this is one of those things where it's easier said than done. I completely understand. If you want more guidance on setting boundaries, I have a dedicated video on that you can check out here and down below. But yes, please learn to set boundaries. It's something you can practice and build just like any other skill or habit, and it will do wonders for your mental health. The next essential habit is to have a self-care plan. So make a list of the activities that make you feel good, that nourish your soul, that make you feel like you just got a reset. For example, it could be simple things like showering, stretching, going for a walk, doing some yoga, essentially anything that helps you recharge your energy. So those are activities that you want to kind of schedule in your day or your week as your self-care plan or your self-care routine, so that you are always having a way to kind of find your center of balance again. There are certain things that if I don't do, like if I'm not consistent with journaling or meditation or maybe even doing yoga, I know that my mental health kind of deteriorates over time the longer I don't do those things. For example, not doing yoga as much as I used to, my mind just is more frazzled. So if I feel like I get too much anxiety or if I'm overthinking, I know that I have to kick back some of these habits, like, oh, I haven't done my weekly yoga in a while, so let's get back on that. Or, oh, I haven't journaled in a while, so let me journal today. So make a list of those things that help you recharge and reset and schedule it in so that you do them and that you do them consistently. Hi. Okay. Oh, yo. The next habit is making sure that you're incorporating self-reflection and check-ins with yourself on a regular basis. So mental health is something that a lot of people don't deal with until it spirals out of control and gets out of hand and becomes this big problem, right? But your mental health is something that you should check in with daily, if not weekly, because your emotions and your feelings and life events kind of like they fluctuate every single day, even throughout the day. So you need to have a system to reflect and check in with yourself. How am I feeling? What do I need right now? What can I give myself? So if you're not thinking about yourself, if you're not reflecting and checking in with yourself like that, that is how these little problems kind of build up and stack up over time and kind of explode into this big meltdown. We recently launched our 2022 line for Lavendaire, and if you haven't seen it, we have a new product called the Weekly Reset Planner, and I'm super excited about this planner because there is a whole 2-page layout for weekly reflection. So not only are you planning each week, you're planning your self-care every week, tracking your habits, there's literally 2 pages where you need to take time at the end of each week to reflect on how you feel feel, how you're doing, what you're grateful for, what your wins are, rating how you're doing in different areas of your life. It's essentially a system that is created for you to check in with yourself and your mental health on a week-to-week basis so that you can reset each week and start the new week with a fresh foundation. So that helps you reflect and check in on a weekly level, but we also have the Artist of Life workbook that allows you to check in with yourself on a quarterly, monthly, weekly, and even daily level. And I'll show you how. So we have quarterly and monthly reviews where you check in with yourself, how you're doing. There's a page for a weekly breakdown, and then there's a habit tracker and daily tracker. So the habit tracker is something you can use to track your habits every single day, whether it's self-care related or just any habit at all. And then the daily tracker is where you can track how you're feeling or track anything that you can rate from 1 to 10, essentially. You can track your mood, your happiness, your health. That way throughout the month, you can literally see visually in a graph how you've been feeling, whether your mood has been up or down or anything. So that is a really powerful way to track your progress and just check in with yourself on a regular basis. If there's anything I learned in 2020, it is that human connection is essential to our well-being because humans are social creatures. So the next habit is spending quality time with people that you love. Whoever your closest people are, whether it's your family, your friends, your community, it is essential to be connecting with these people on a regular basis, whether it's digital or in person. But I truly believe humans are wired to need human connection. We're wired to have to see people in person. So ask yourself, who are your favorite people in the world? Who are the people who make you feel loved and supported? And then ask yourself, how often am I seeing these people or connecting with them? Sometimes all it takes is some initiative. You just need to make the first move in organizing something or making a call, sending them a text. I think what social media has done to a lot of us is we've become so used to seeing people on social media, like seeing people's posts and stuff, that we think like, oh yeah, I'm connected, like I see what people are up to. But that type of connection is so surface level. It does not mean the same thing as having a conversation with somebody that you know in your life, somebody that you enjoy having a conversation with. It's not about the quantity of people in your life, it's about the quality of people in your life. So make it a point to spend some quality time with people and make some deeper connections because we literally need it. Next, I wonder if you've practiced the habit of being gentle with yourself. Yes, it's a habit because at least for me, it was something that had to be learned and practiced and worked on because a lot of us are too critical of ourselves. A lot of us have negative self-talk. We put ourselves down. We feel bad about ourselves. We are too hard on ourselves. So, have you practiced toning that critic voice down and turning up the gentle, kind, and loving voice? So that is a habit that is so helpful for your mental health, is to just have that shift in energy. Instead of judging myself and being hard on myself, let me just choose to talk to myself with love. Let me be kind to myself, the way that I am kind to others, the way that I'm kind to the people that I love, the way that I show them that I care, and no matter what they do, I'm not gonna judge them and everything will be okay. It's the voice that says, I love you no matter what. It's the voice that says, hey, you know what? You did a great job regardless of the outcome. And it's the voice that reminds you that it's about progress, not perfection. And healing is not linear. So not expecting yourself to be perfect, not expecting yourself to be like growing and healing at some sort of straight path. It's allowing yourself to make mistakes. It's allowing yourself to fail. Growing that voice inside you is a habit, and it is a powerful one that will protect your mental health for the rest of your life. The sunset is so pretty right now. Habit number 9 on this list is practicing gratitude daily. So waking up and feeling grateful for another day because each day is a blessing. Learning to focus on what you have versus what you don't have Gratitude really is just a perspective. It is choosing with intention what to focus on and choosing to focus on the things going right in your life, the things that are positive, just things that you have to be grateful for. Too often people focus on the negatives, the things that they don't have, the things that they wish they had in their lives, or focusing on the fact that they're not where they want to be yet and being frustrated about that, versus looking back and seeing how far they've come, or seeing what they already do have, seeing all the good and all the abundance already in their life. So that is what gratitude is, and living with a grateful heart is one of the most powerful things that you can do for your happiness and your mental health. Last but not least is to follow your joy. So follow the things that bring you joy, do the things that make you come alive, because that is what your soul needs. And usually if we are neglecting the things that bring us joy, if we're neglecting doing things that are fulfilling for our soul, then that is when your mental health starts to go down, because you're not giving yourself the air that you need. You need joy in your life. You need to have a feeling of, oh, there's a hummingbird right there. You need to nourish your soul. So whether it is through going into nature or dancing, singing, find the activities that help you tap into your true self and express what you truly desire. At least in my life, I know that my mental health suffered when I was neglecting those things, when I was neglecting listening to my true heart and doing the things that I was truly desiring deep down, because I was masking it with another thing that I thought I wanted. I thought I should be doing this, I should be doing that, just forcing myself to go down paths that weren't meant for me, that other people wanted for me, or placing certain expectations on myself that were not coming from a good place. They were not coming from joy, they were not coming from love, they were coming from a forceful, pushing place. So find it in your heart what your truest, purest desires are, what brings you pure joy, what is it that you really want, what is it that you really like, what really makes you come alive, rather than what you feel like you should be doing. So I hope that helps. 10 habits for your mental health. Let me know down below, out of the 10, how many are you actively practicing? And when I say that, I mean literally on a daily or weekly basis. So comment down below the number out of 10. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.